When the top level was built, no more could be placed. Give it, quickly. Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals. Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it. A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile. A trick. Something they did not anticipate. No, not even them. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete.
Come closer, bask in my presence. I am Hermaeus Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen, a knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal. Most impressive. Your continuing aid to Septimus renders him increasingly obsolete. He has served me well, but his time is nearing its end. Once that infernal lockbox is opened, he will have exhausted his usefulness to me. When that time comes, you shall take his place as my emissary. What say you? Be warned, many have thought as you do. I have broken them all. You shall not evade me forever.
Imperial dogs. There is nothing that's too low for them.
Yes? I knew this day would eventually come. At least poor Sindarian died doing what he loved. His field research. I told the old fool he should take it easy, but he was too stubborn. Perhaps someday I'll continue where he left off. It's the least I can do, considering how much he did for me. You gathered quite a few of them, I see. I'll search through Sinderian's notes and find some more information about the Crimson Nirnroot and its properties. Thank you. You've done alchemy a great service by helping to complete Sinderian's work. I'd like to give you this tome. It's one of Sinderian's greatest works. I believe you've more than earned it. Is it that obvious? I've got my hands full here. Between the farm chores, cultivating my supply of Nirnroot, and keeping a tight rein on my sister Adori, there's little time for rest. Really? That would be a pleasant change. One of the ingredients I need to cultivate Nirnroot are Jazbay grapes. The acidic content of the juice is perfect for the soil. I need 20 of them for my current crop. My goodness, how did you ever come by all of these? No matter. I appreciate your generosity. Let me at least give you something for your efforts. Finding all of these couldn't have been easy. Or cheap. Actually, I'm growing it if you hadn't noticed. I'm the only person alive that can cultivate Nirnroot from a seed to a fully grown plant. Yes, he was an absolute genius when it came to the Nirnroot. Sinderian made it his life's work, developing all sorts of interesting concoctions. When I was very young, I was sent to Skingrad in Cyrodiil to study with him. He was a strange Altmer. Paid more attention to his research than his own well-being. He lived in the basement of an inn, for goodness sakes. Well, after I fled Morrowind during the eruption, I made my way here. My family had purchased this farm, and it's all we had left. Years later, Sinderian simply showed up at our doorstep asking to stay for a while. Said he was going to do field research. He stayed with us for decades. Became an uncle of sorts to Adori. One day he simply ran out to me in the field, excited that he'd made some sort of a breakthrough, and he was going to head out on another trip. He never returned. From the journal you discovered, I'm sure you know the rest. I used to be. There isn't much time for that in my life anymore, I'm afraid. I actually owned a shop in Vivec City long ago, but I had to leave all that behind when the Red Mountain erupted. Perhaps someday I'll reopen a shop here in Skyrim. Come visit again sometime.
I trust your journey was successful? I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter. It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it. Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so. No, it will have to run its course, and there's always the chance I may never recover. No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow? I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract ancestor moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. There is quite a bit of ritual and concentration required. It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then, months to recover. Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable fate we agree to pursue when reading the Elder Scrolls. It generally does not occur until a moth priest is in his latter years, but in my case, I simply was not preparing myself properly. Good luck. I hope you find the answers you seek.
What now? Who's there? Name's Angi. And if you try anything stupid, I won't hesitate to put an arrow in your head. Sorry, a girl can't be too careful out here. Like I said, name's Angi, and I've been living out here for a couple of years now. I moved here from Helgen after my family was killed. At the time, I couldn't stand to be around anyone. They all felt sorry for me, and I didn't want them to. It was my problem, not theirs. Don't be like them. Don't feel sorry for me. Two Imperial drunks who thought they were above the law. Already did. Part of the reason I'm living out here now. Thanks for offering, though. I set up those targets a long time ago. I shoot at them from time to time. Don't want to get rusty with my bow. That I am. You know how to use one? Well, let me know if you ever want to practice. If you need a bow, there's one on the rack to the left of the door. Let's see if I can teach you a few things about using a bow. What do you need, Bard? Excellent. Follow me to the targets and we'll begin. My father was rarely home, so it was my mother who actually taught me how to use a bow. She always said composure was the key to a successful archer. If you can remain calm, even in the midst of chaos, your arrow will most likely find its target. Okay, let's see what you can do. Remember to stay within the boundaries and only use the practice arrows. I have some if you don't have any. Aim for the middle target. Only use the practice arrows. Right on target. Now hit the target to the left. Great shot. Now hit the target to the right. Nice shot. Right on target. Let me know if you want to practice some more. Next time we'll make it a little more challenging. Yes? Excellent. Follow me to the targets and we'll begin. My older brother took me out hunting a lot when I was little. At the time, it was difficult to keep food on the table, let alone have enough left over to sell at the market. So whenever we came across more than one deer in a single location, it was imperative we kill as many as we could. If you can learn to keep your composure and trust that each shot is true, then you should be able to quickly handle multiple targets. When I tell you to, try and hit each of the 3 closest targets in 8 seconds. I'll count to 3 and then say go. You have 8 seconds to hit each of the 3 targets. Draw string and get ready. 1, 2, 3... Be careful. You did it! All 3 targets in 8 seconds. Nice job. Let me know if you want to practice some more. Next time we'll make it a little more challenging. Great job hitting those targets. You definitely surprised me with your speed and composure. Here you go. Excellent. Follow me to the targets and we'll begin. We've talked about speed and composure. Now we'll go over precision.
Help! Help me! Please. Take this.
Oftentimes, you
You
won't
must
be able to get as
keep it
close
safe.
to the prey as you'd like.
Away from-
You'll have to settle on a long shot.
You're dead!
However, such a long shot, more than likely the only shot you'll be able to take is the assault. Under such a situation, then you need to make your shot count. Don't rush your shot. Crouch down, get comfortable, and take aim. Okay, your turn. Try and hit the target way in the back, far behind the other thing. Remember to take your time and make your shot count.
This won't end well for you.
Nice shot, right on target. Let me know if you want to practice some more. Next time we'll make it a little more challenging. Someone do something! Excellent. Follow me to the targets and we'll begin. We've talked about composure, speed, and precision. Now it's time to use all three at once. I'm warning you now. This challenge will be quite difficult. Just remember everything I've taught you, and you should be able to complete it. It may take you a couple of tries, but that's what practice is all about. When I tell you to, try and hit all 4 targets in 10 seconds. I'll count to 3 and then say go. You have 10 seconds to hit each of the 4 targets. Draw string and get ready. 1, 2, 3... Go! You did it! All 4 targets in 10 seconds. Nice job. Yes? I think I've taught you everything I know. You might even be as good as me now. Kind of scary if I think about it. It was my pleasure. It's not often I get visitors out here, let alone friendly ones. Thanks for sticking around and keeping me company. It was nice to finally meet someone out here who doesn't want to rob you or take off your head. I know it isn't much, but here, take this bow. It was given to me by my family. It's special to me, but brings back too many painful memories. Remember, composure and speed. You don't need to see your arrow hit before moving on to your next target. Trust your shot is true.
Not very impressive, is it? If this ends up being a wasted trip, your friend Dexion and I are gonna have some words when we get back. Wow. Look at this place. No one's been here in centuries. I doubt there's any other place like it in Skyrim. It's beautiful. What now? It's not like anything else in Skyrim, I can tell you that much. From now or before. There's probably groves like this all over Tamriel. Most people just don't even know what to look for. Well, we got the knife. Now all we need to do is track down one of those canticle trees. Hope the moths like that bark as much as Dexion said they would. Look at them. They've definitely taken a liking to you. Unless I'm seeing things, you're starting to glimmer. Are you okay? Almost thought I lost you there. You went as white as the snow. I could see it in your eyes. You looked about 1,000 leagues away. What about Ariel's bow? Do you know where we can find it? Then it's almost over. We can finally put an end to this ridiculous prophecy. Where is this Darkfall Cave? Then let's get going. I want to get there before my father has a chance to track us down. Who's there? I knew I heard something. Done and done. What is it? Yes? Not much. If you read any history, it shows up from time to time, but it's a hard thing to track. As far as I know, though, it's never been held by a vampire. That would be a new one. Ariel is one of the elven gods. He's with the rest of them in Aetherius. The way I've heard it, the sun represents the connection from our world to theirs. Supposedly, the bow draws its energy from the sun itself, which is why it shows up in that prophecy. And that part, I don't know. Once we have it, hopefully it'll be obvious. It's so bright out here. I don't know how you stand it. Yes? Land feels twisted. I'm surprised my father didn't want to live out here. Another cave. I've spent enough time underground myself, but if you want to go in, I'm right behind you. Do you need something? Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid of. If you want to run ahead, I won't stop you, but I'll be following. Never saw anything like this back on the island. Where'd you come
Never
from?
should have come here.
That is, not your best.
What have you got? Who's there? heard something? That'll teach you. Keep your eyes open here. Who's there? I knew I heard something. That'll teach you. These people were... Why would anyone want to set up camp here? Something's not right here. Be careful. I think we may be in for some trouble. Yes?
Come forward. You have nothing to fear
What's that?
here.
I can feel some kind of power from it.
I am Knight-Paladin Gelebor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel. Auriel, Alkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves. I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers. Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed. Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance. I need you to kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother. The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen. They swept into the chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause. The chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha. He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting. Leaving the Wayshrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a Knight-Paladin of Auriel, and an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death. Yes, let me show you. This structure is known as a Wayshrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the Wayshrine's center and proceed to the next Wayshrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the Chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? It makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temples so we can kill your brother and claim Arnold's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the Initiate's footsteps and traveling from Wayshrine to Wayshrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment. There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry. Caves? Oh no. The Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the Initiate's ewer. Once you've located a Wayshrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened. This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey. Questions? I expected as much. We were once a wealthy and prosperous society that occupied a portion of Skyrim. Unfortunately, we were constantly at war with the Nords, who claimed the land as their ancestral home. In a manner of speaking, we had always maintained an uneasy alliance with the underground-dwelling dwarves, and when faced with extinction, we turned to them for help. Surprisingly, they agreed to protect us, but demanded a terrible price: the blinding of our race. There were splinter groups that resisted the agreement, and even some that sought alternate alliances. But when it was all said and done, those elves were either slaughtered, vanished, or gave up and took the dwarves' bargain. I've often asked myself that very same question. The blinding of my race was supposedly accomplished with a toxin, certainly not enough to devolve them into the sad and twisted beings they've become. The Chantry is quite isolated, so it took some time for word of the dwarves' offer to reach us here. By the time the compact had been completed, it was too late for us to even attempt to intervene. Correct. We only numbered perhaps 100 at the time, so our presence remained a secret to the dwarves and the Nords. Ironically, our undoing came at the hands of our own people. Yes, they swarmed the Chantry in vast numbers until we were completely overrun. We never really stood a chance. I assumed that the Archcurate was corrupted by them when they found a way to breach the inner sanctum. Verther and myself are the only 2 snow elves that remain. This is, or was, the epicenter of our religion. Most of the snow elf people worshipped Auriel. The Chantry was constructed near the beginning of the First Era to provide a retreat for those that wished to become enlightened. Our empire had temples to some of the other deities. Trinimac, Ciribane, Y'ffre, and Finister rounded out the rest. But those temples paled in comparison to the glory of the Chantry and its Wayshrines. Oh yes, they were an important part of the process here. They represented the steps the Initiates took on the path to total enlightenment. Sadly, the magic used to construct these wonders were lost long before I arrived here. They're ghosts of the snow elf priests that tended the Wayshrines before being slaughtered by the betrayed. Through the grace of Auriel, they were restored to their spectral form to enable them to continue their duties. I'm afraid in their current form, they still believe the Chantry to be an active center of worship. They won't respond to you in any way other than believing that you're an initiate and you're undertaking the journey to the inner sanctum. May Auriel watch over you.
What is it? Wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be. Kind of soothing, actually. I feel a little warmer now. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? I knew I heard something. Who's there? I knew I heard something. Where'd you come from? you. Where'd you come from?
Bruce, Druadach!
chains and traps. Be careful here. Whatever's on the other side of this, Falma wanted to keep it there.
Where'd you come from? I'll teach you.
Yes? This is the kind of thing I've been wanting to see. Makes everything else worth it. I think that's another Wayshrine up there. Here we go.
Where'd you come from?
Done and done.
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Wayshrine of Illumination. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment? Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it light your path as you seek tranquility within the inner sanctum. May Ariel's brilliance illuminate your path.